Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany Bundles, and today's video is going to go over tips on how to get out of debt. Now, if you all don't know, if you're new to this channel, I do have a credit repair podcast that I post on very frequently. There's a new episode on Sundays, so be sure to check out my podcast. The link is down below. It's on YouTube. I have a playlist for my podcast, and then I also have my podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, podcasters, and some other apps. Also, I have experience in the financial industry. I used to work as a loan officer for over 3+ years. And during that time, it really got me interested in learning all about credit. Okay, first I was interested because I wanted to make a lot of commission. And I'm like, okay, the more I know about credit reports, better I'll be when I draft up the proposal, so to speak, for the underwriting team. And the better draft that I send over to the underwriting team, the higher chance that that individual has of being approved for the loan that they're applying for. So that's kind of what it first started off as being. I just wanted to be good at my job. I wanted to make as much money as I could working in the financial industry that I was working in, or at the financial institution that I was working at. And then I just started to get really interested in credit in total. I'm like, okay, well, let me see what I can do with my credit report. Let me see what I can do to help my family out. Let me see what I can do to help my friends out. And then some years down the line, I opened a credit repair business. So I do have a credit repair business. The website is bchrepairs.com. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in repairing your credit. I do offer free consultations. But today I'm going to go over some tips. I did write myself some notes just to help those that are interested in getting out of debt do just that. So if you're interested in this video, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Also, if you're interested in learning more about credit repair, business tips, a little bit of lifestyle, just different things, be sure to subscribe to this channel. I do have a lot of different things going on this channel, primarily pertaining to business and credit. And I also have, like I mentioned, some lifestyle, blogs and things like that. So make sure that you are subscribed, turn your post notifications on, and without further ado, we're going to get right into the video. So the first thing that I want to go over is state and federal debt relief programs. So if you Google debt relief programs in your area, there are going to be some different things that come up. Once you go to one that you're comfortable, working with, they're going to ask you some additional questions. They're going to ask for your social, your date of birth. They're going to ask for your gross income. They're going to ask for information pertaining to any other side gigs that you may have. Just to kind of get an idea of your overall financial situation and how they can best help. For these programs, a lot of times you do have to qualify. So they're going to see if you do qualify, if you're a good candidate. Now, they may be titled as free debt relief programs. And you have to really be careful with how people phrase certain things, especially in business, the fine print and, the word, I don't want to say games, but the marketing words and things like that. So they do have a lot of times when we're talking about state and federal debt relief programs, they have like free services where they'll go over information on how to repair your credit free through like virtual webinars. So they may even have a in-person class that you can take for free. But if they're looking at really like consolidating or offering a lower rate on some of your cards, because a lot of times that's what these companies or that's what these programs do. They'll take a look at your financial makeup at that time. They'll look at your credit report. They'll look at your income. They'll look at the debt to income, all of that. They'll see if you're a good candidate. If you are, then what they will do is offer a proposal. So they'll offer, like, say you have 5 credit cards and they're all maxed out. They'll say, hey, would you be interested in paying $150 a month for the next 3 years? And then, in 3 years, you'll be out of debt. Granted, you don't open any other cards or anything like that. You'll be able to pay these balances down in 3 years. And then also the interest rate would be lower. How does that sound? So typically they have relationships with the credit card carriers or with the financial institutions that you may have your loans or credit cards through. And they already have different negotiated rates that they can offer if you're willing to close your credit cards or close the line of credit, and if you're willing to accept their terms. So what they would do is close the credit cards and then make the agreement on your behalf for you to pay pretty much like their settlement offer. Now, they do offer different settlement offers a lot of times to consumers than to debt relief programs. So it's something to consider. It definitely can help if you are interested in creating a plan to get you out of debt. And if you don't have the finances to pay off your credit cards at once, but you're still wanting to make progress with paying them off, I definitely would recommend going to a state or federal debt relief program. I do want you all to be conscious, though, that when you're looking for these type of programs, because like I mentioned, most times when you're getting that work done, it's not free. They are going to offer, they a lot of times they do ask for an amount, or they take like a percentage. Some of them may be completely free. You just have to kind of ask and see what they're really offering. But ultimately, you're going to need to pay something to pay down your debt, unless there's some program out there where they're wiping your debts clean. Most times, you are going to need to, pay something. Most times, if not all times, pay something to pay down your debts. Be mindful though if they are going to close your credit cards, because remember, if your credit cards are closed, especially if certain cards are your longest trade, that could damage your credit as well. Because credit is made up of different factors. I have a whole video on how your credit score is calculated. I'll link that video down below. But keep in mind, know that you are in charge of your financial future. So if you do work with a company and they're like, hey, this is the proposal, we're going to close all of these cards, you can come back and say, hey, what if we just close one of these cards? Or hey, what if we close all these cards except this one? Or what if we don't close the cards, but you help me pay down the loans? You know what I mean? Like just trying to figure out what really works best for you. The next thing that I want to go over is loan modification. So if you find yourself in a hard spot, what a lot of people do is they decide to stop paying on their loans and they pay for things that they, truly need, which makes sense. If I don't have income at this point and I have debts and I have bills, the bills that I need to pay are going to keep my lights on, a roof over, my head, food in my belly. If I have to decide between those two, I'm going to choose to pay for the bills that I need to pay for to survive at that moment. And that's where a lot of people are thinking, that's where their mentality goes. But keep in mind that even though that's what you are doing now, you can still contact the creditors to see what options they have available, to see if it is feasible for you to get a loan modification to pay a lower amount, or for you to work out some type of plan with them where it's not reporting negatively on your credit report, because eventually situations change. So if you're having a hard season this season, but let's say next month you're going to get another job, or let's say in 2 months your business really picks up, or let's say, you come into some money somehow and now you're like, okay, I really want to get my credit back right. I really want to start paying off my debt. It's going to be a little bit more challenging to go back and rebuild the credit for all of those, months that you missed, because late payments do affect your credit as well. It's going to be a longer process than if you were to catch it before it even starts. So contact the companies that you have loans through or your credit cards through. If you can't pay, still contact them and see what offers they have. You may be surprised what they can offer. When I used to work at the credit union, there'd be people that had loans and they didn't know what we could offer in case they came into a hardship. And so they would just avoid the calls. They would avoid calling in, paying, doing business with the bank. And it's like, if nothing else, if the institutions don't give you an option that you're interested in, at least you can say, I tried. I know what they offer and I'm not able to do what they can offer. If you can't do it, you can't do it. But there's nothing wrong with seeing if they can modify your loans, because different companies do offer debt relief programs where they can sometimes cut your interest rate in half, causing you to pay off the principal of that loan a lot sooner. Some are able to offer a settlement offer on the spot. Some are able to lower your payments or even push some payments or a payment to the end of the loan, because ultimately the financial institutions that you're working with, they want their money too. And sometimes they think like, well, if this person lost their job, it's better for me to at least get this amount than for me to get nothing at all. Even though they send your accounts to collections, you still have to think about it from a business aspect. A lot of times once they sell your debts to the collection agencies or they give them over to the collection agencies, they're either waiting on the collection agency to make an amount to get paid, or they sold the debt for a lot lower than what they were anticipating making off of you, off of lending you that money. So it's important to see, because like I said, it's a business at the end of the day. And a lot of companies are thinking like I said, if I can't get everything that I was owed, at least I can get this. And it's a win-win for both. Another thing that has helped me on my journey to eliminate my debt is creating a debt thermometer. So what I do is on my tablet, and my tablet's not charged right now, but if you want to see a video on how my thermometer looks, I'll show you how it looks so that you can create one. But there's a way, or I can even create a thermometer and put it like on my wall behind me and show you all how to do that. But pretty much the idea is to create all of the accounts that you owe money on and create like, it's a thermometer. So you shade in the amount that you owe on certain cards or with certain debts, and then you can backtrack or like erase the amount that you're knocking down. So you can kind of see how close you are to paying down your debt and how much debt you have. So I like that theory. It just gives me a visual, and it sticks in my mind when I look at it in the morning, so that if I'm going out shopping or whatever, I have good discipline as it is as far as spending money, but that just helps me a lot more. There have been times my friends have called and been like, hey, do you want to go out to dinner? And I'm thinking about this thermometer, and I'm like, I could literally spend that $50 that I was going to go to dinner with to paying down some more of this thermometer, because I really wanted to I want to see the progress. It may not seem like a lot, but when you have something that you're working towards in visual form, it really helps. And I used to be someone that really didn't get that. I was like, whatever, if I know what I need to do, I know what I need to do. I don't really need to see like a visual of it, but it really, really helps. It's kind of the same analogy when you're working at a job and you're getting commission. A lot of times in orientation, they will tell you they'll ask you what you're motivated by, why you're working, what do you want most from this job. And if someone says, hey, I really want to buy this new car, they may suggest that you print out a picture of the car and stick it on your cubicle. Or if you say, hey, I'm really excited to buy my kids what they've been asking for Christmas, and they'll ask you, okay, go ahead and print out the pictures of the presents and print out and bring some pictures in of your kids and stick them, in your cubicle. So just different things like that to really give you a visual and keep you focused. It really helps. Another thing that I wrote down, sorry, this ring light is messing up my vision a little bit. Settlement offers. So asking for different settlement offers, asking different financial institutions what they're willing to do. Instead of going through the debt relief programs, or you can go through the debt relief programs and see what they can offer, but then you can also call the companies directly and see what they can offer you. A lot of times the offers that the agreements that they have with the debt relief companies are going to be better than what they offer consumers, but it doesn't hurt to ask, just calling them and asking what their settlement offers are, if they have a settlement offer, because like I said, they're a business, and most times they look at it as, I'd rather get something than get nothing at all. Keep in mind that they do have different fallback offers most of the time. So the first offer that they give you may not be the best. They may say, hey, we can offer, if your debt's, for example, $1,000, hey, we can offer a settlement offer of $700. And if you take that, they'll be happy. They'll go ahead and process. If you say, no, I really can't do that, they may put you on hold and come back and say, hey, we can do $650. And then they may say we can do half, and half may be their actual lowest offer. So asking for settlement offers can also help you get more for your money, be able to pay off more of your debt at a lower amount. And then the last thing that I want to go over is dispute your debts. So like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I do offer a credit repair service through my website at bchcreditrepairs.com. I will have the link down below as well, and I am offering free consultations. So there are certain trades on your credit report that are either unverifiable or they have incorrect information reporting. And those are two reasons that you can dispute items off of your credit report and also have a higher chance of getting those items removed from your credit report completely. So if there is a debt that's unverifiable, if there's a debt that has inaccurate information, then those debts can be removed without you paying anything. So it's really important to check your credit report, not just Credit Karma. I do use Credit Karma and I recommend Credit Karma just as like a base. Like Credit Karma, it tells you if there's a inquire on your credit. It tells you like an outline of the debts that you have, certain offers you may qualify for, give you some other insight as far as based on your credit score and your age, what the majority of people that they from their research that are paying a certain amount for their car insurance. They give you like an overview, but they don't give you your exact credit scores. And they also, it's they're giving you estimates on 2 credit bureaus, not all 3. So in my opinion, it's best to still go and actually look at your full credit report, not just a summary of your credit profile, to see what's on your credit report and to see if it's first, accurate information. If there are things that you don't recognize, certain trades that you may be in question about, doing research to see if the creditors can even validate or verify those accounts, if they have, like I said, accurate information or not. And you can start creating dispute letters on your own behalf. And then you also can look into hiring a credit repair agency to help you with that. So those are my tips as far as working on getting out of debt. I really hope that they helped. Remember, I do have a podcast where I go over additional credit repair tips. So if you're interested, tune into that podcast. I do want to thank you for tuning in, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye.